Let's start in a seated position. You can sit on a blanket or a block. Helps with our alignment quite a bit. Stacking our spine so that our head is over our heart and then our hips. Just have your feet in a comfortable position. And we're going to take a moment to relax our bodies, bring our minds to this moment. Take an inhale and lift the shoulders up. Exhale and drop them down. So lifting up on an inhale. Exhale, push down. Again. Taking a moment to roll the shoulders. Today's session's going to be all about that back and core, our spine health, and our hips. So let's start bringing that attention to our upper middle back. Releasing through the neck. And we'll go the other direction. Just taking a moment, tuning in, feeling our back start opening and releasing. And we'll take a couple of rolls back. Let them hang down. And we're going to let a smile come over to carry throughout practice as we inhale and lift up. And then bring the hands down to the heart. And just take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, float down. Let's take a moment resting the eyes. Take that connection to your breath and lengthen the breath. Bringing that into our practice today. Filling our lungs all the way down through the belly. Gently opening the eyes, we'll start with a nice gentle twist, bringing our right hand across to the left knee or thigh, and then that left hand behind you. Fingertips will just gently touch the ground. Remember, in every twist, we want to lift and lengthen and then turn. You can look over the shoulder if that feels good, or just towards the side. And then back to center and across to the other side. So bringing that left hand over, right hand behind you. Nice deep breaths here. Really try to focus in every time we get to a pose. Relax the shoulders. Breathe down to the belly. And then we'll release. Let's start with that upper back a little bit. Lifting the arms. Bring that left arm underneath. Elbows together. Then bend at the elbows so that we can bring the fingers to the sky and the backs of the arms together. We can complete that twist with the palms touching. Lifting the fingers and elbows up. We really try to push those shoulders down. Two more breaths. Lift up a little bit more and press down through those shoulders. And then release. Unwrap the arms. Reach out, down, behind you. Fingertips point back. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Drop the chin towards the chest. And then release. Sit up nice and tall. And then the other side. So arms lift up, right arm underneath. Elbows together first. Bend so that the fingers go to the sky, trying to bring the backs of the arms together. And then palms touch. Lifting up through the fingers and elbows and pressing down through the shoulders. Nice big stretch here. Feel that opening through the shoulder blades. Take another breath or two and really press down and lift up together. And then release, unwrap, reach out and then down behind you. Fingertips point back, chin to chest. Nice release through the neck. And then back to center. Let's open up through our side bodies next. So taking that right hand to the ground, left arm overhead. Bend into your elbow. Find length from your fingers down through the ribs to your hip. You can look down if that feels better for your neck, or all the way up if you want more of a twist. Two more breaths. And then on an inhale, we're going to lift our right arm up to meet our left. Exhale, drop the left arm, bending in, nice stretch through that side body. Again, looking down or overhead, whatever feels good. Relaxing. Gentle opening. And then we'll do the same thing again. On an inhale, we lift up. Both arms up. Reach, reach, reach. Nice stretch through the spine here. And then float down. Relax the shoulders and the arms. One more time. Inhale, lift. Find length through your spine. And then shoulders, arms, everything relaxes down. All right, so let's take a moment from here and come into tabletop. So moving nice and slow. Remember, this is our beginner class, so we want to take that extra time for our alignment. If you want some extra padding, take that blanket, unroll it, bring it underneath your knees. From here, we're going to stack our wrists under our shoulders and our knees under our hips, spreading those palms nice and wide. Now we're going to move in the way that feels best for our body. Check your alignment first. Feet are nice and relaxed on the mat. And we'll start by inhaling, dropping the belly, lift the hips, and look up slightly. Exhale, chin to chest, navel to spine, hunching and rounding the back. And then release, looking up and back. Or you can just go right into wagging your tail from side to side. Or you could do big circles all the way around. I really want you to just take quite a few breaths here. Listen to your body. Move in a way that feels good. Create your own practice. And take a few more breaths again in whatever movement you want to do. You might do a combination of things. And then we're going to come back to neutral. Reach the palms out a little bit and bring our hips towards our heels for child's pose. Then we're going to relax the upper body. Bring the head on the mat or on our fists. Whatever is going to allow you to relax for a few breaths. Feel how your hips feel right now. Take a moment, taking note. How does your body feel in this position? Is there anything we need to release specifically? Is it the lower back? Is it our hips, our neck and shoulders? With every breath, exhale and relax a little bit more. And then inhale and slowly come up. Back to that tabletop position. And again, we're going to walk those hands forward a little bit. If you have a blanket, let me reset that. Come back and take that blanket out to the side for a moment. We're going to come into that pigeon pose, working on our hips, our glutes, and our back. So reach those palms out, and then bring your left knee towards your left wrist. Curl back the right toes so you can push that heel back and gain a little bit more space through the legs. Now you can stay here with that left ankle under your hip. You could shimmy your foot out to the side a little bit, allowing yourself to sink down a little bit more. We can rock side to side if that feels good, opening up gently through the hip area. Or if you have and want to have the flexibility, you can push yourself and come down onto the forearms. You can extend the arms out if that's possible and rest the head on the mat. Remember, your torso should be on your thighs. But wherever you are, we're going to take a few more breaths here. So even if we're just up with our palms on the mat, we're breathing deep into the belly. We're lifting through the crown of our head if we're upright. One more nice deep breath wherever you are. And then if we're laying down, we'll bring our hands back to our shoulders. We'll push up nice and slow. And then everyone's just going to drop that weight towards your left hip and relax. So just roll over to the left side and then swing that right leg around. All right. From here, we're going to bend that right leg. So maybe that means you're staying here like this. We got that left leg still bent, that right leg's here. You could bring it up closer. Remember, don't round. Sit up nice and tall. If you have the flexibility, you can cross it over to the other side, but don't let your sit bone come off the mat. Okay, so every day is different. Just taking it for where you are today. Lift and lengthen through that crown of your head, and then use that left hand or the inside of your elbow to turn and twist and look to the side or look behind you. Remember to keep both sit bones connected. You might feel a great stretch through the glute area here. But that goal is to lift through our spine. And as we turn, we're getting that great opening through the middle back, through the shoulder blade if we're really opening with that inside of our elbow to our knee. And then we'll release. And we'll just bring those arms across for a gentle counter twist. Just coming across the other side. And then we'll release. All right, 2 options. You can slowly get back to your hands and knees. The other option is to bend your right leg and put it on the mat. And then you swing that left leg behind you. Okay? Then you come up onto your toes and your knees. But again, coming onto our hands and knees first is such a great option. Then we bring our palms forward. We bring our right knee towards the right wrist. Curl back those left toes so you can lengthen and extend that little bit. Again, you can keep the ankle under the hip or shimmy that foot towards your center. And then we can just rock side to side here. We can hold, or if you'd like, you can go down onto the forearms, or you could go all the way down, torso to thigh, head on the mat. But remember, focus on your breath, especially if you're all the way down. Feel that torso expand into your thigh. Now remember, that's not necessary. We can stay up here nice and tall, lifting through the crown of the head, relaxing those shoulders down. Just feeling that breath move all the way down through the hips and releasing that energy. And we'll take a few more breaths here, really allowing ourselves to open. And then again, if we're folded forward, we bring our hands towards our shoulders first. We slowly push up. And then everyone just falls to the right. Just let all your weight fall over to that hip. And then bend that left leg or swing it around. And again, coming into that twist. So lifting up nice and tall, that's going to determine how much your left knee is bent. Again, you can bring it closer or you can cross it over. Remember, crossing it over, we really want to make sure our sit bones are both connected to the mat. Lift and lengthen, and then right hand or inside of the elbow to the knee. Left hand comes behind you. Shoulders are relaxed down, and we just have a nice twist of our spine here. Again, using that abdomen being close to the thighs as a cue to check in on our breath. So breathe all the way down through the belly. Two more breaths here. And then release back to center, and the arms just come across for a gentle twist. And then we'll release. This time we'll stretch out both legs. So reach them out nice and long. Take a moment and move the thighs so that we have everything in alignment. Hips, knees, and ankles. We push out with our heels and pull our toes back. Now, if it's hard to sit up tall here, bend the knees. This is going to allow you to sit up more. And then we're going to inhale and we're going to lift the arms up overhead. And then we're going to exhale and fold forward. Remember, it's not about reaching your feet. It's about length through your spine and feeling your torso fold forward. Bring those arms underneath the knees if you have them bent. Relax through the head, neck, and shoulders by looking down slightly. Nice deep breaths here. Really feel an opening through the lower back, especially if the knees are bent. And then release. Release the arms. Coming up, roll those shoulders back. And we're going to come back onto our hands and knees. So again, bringing those legs underneath, moving nice and slow. All right. Little bit of core work, a little bit of stretch. So again, if you want that extra padding, take that blanket underneath the knees. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, palms are spread nice and wide. Get a nice stretch from your thumb to your pointer finger here. Okay, remember, lift out of the shoulders, unlock your elbows, engage your core. So nice flat back here. Now, 3 options. Just lifting that left leg, we can hold, trying to keep it parallel to the ground. Remember not to spill your weight over to the side. Try and remain centered still. And then if you want, you can lift your right arm up. We can reach from our fingers to our toes, finding a nice cross-body stretch. Or if you want a little bit of core already, draw the elbow towards the knee and then extend. We'll do 5. This is 4. Or just hold and lengthen. Try to exhale as you come in, elbow to knee. 2, moving nice and slow. Really reach. And last one, crunch in tight. And then extend out and back. Back to center. Realign your position. Make sure we're nice and solid before we lift the right leg. So again, you can just hold here and just keep that right leg extended, reaching through the toes. You can add in that left arm and hold here if that feels good. Or again, 5 times. Elbow to knee and extend. Reach out and really exhale as you draw in. 3. We've got 2 more. Really feel that engagement through the core and the back. Last one. Extend out, reach through, and then release. All right, coming back into child's pose. So you can do that with your knees and ankles in alignment, or take the knees out wide. Up to you. Toes come together if the knees are wide, and we shift back and we relax fully, be that with the hands stacked or the head on the mat. And we notice how our body has already opened and changed, how it's relaxed and softened, how the energy is flowing, and how this feels so much easier than it did when we first started. Taking a few more breaths here. I really want you to focus in and relax through the upper body. Allow your lower back to soften so that your hips can come a little bit closer to the heels. And we feel our abdomen expand into the thighs. Nice deep breaths. And then we'll slowly come up. So we'll draw our hands back. Inhale, come up. Bring those knees underneath first. Take 2 breaths in cat and cow. Inhale, relax, look up. Exhale, round and looking back. Looking up and back. And release. We're going to come and lay on our sides, nice and long on the mat. So extending out, nice and long. Come down on your elbow. Reach out long with those legs. We're going to do one little push here. Okay, your goal is to be in line with your mat. Remember, this is an incredible exercise for our arms and our abs. So from here, we're going to bend that bottom leg. Okay, this is going to help support us. Make sure your elbow and your shoulder is in line. Super important here. And we're going to lift up. So lift your hips up. Push out of your arm. Try and lift your hips. Push into this bottom knee and on your top foot. And reach that arm overhead if you can. We're going to take 3 big breaths here. 3 really, really big, deep breaths all the way down through your belly. Push out and lift as high as you can. And then release. We're going to do one more, okay? Same exact thing, lifting up with everything you have. Reach. 3 deep breaths. Really push out of your legs, your foot, your arm, everything. And release. All right, from here, take that top arm and push so you can lay and spread out long. So reach that arm out, bend both knees together, and relax your head down. We're going to work on opening our middle back, giving ourselves a break before we move to the other side. So we're going to take that top arm, bring them together so the palms are kind of together. Our knees are nice and bent. We feel nice and solid on this side of our body. We're going to lift that top arm, roll onto the back of our head, and open up through the chest. And then we're going to come back. We're going to move at our own pace. We're going to feel a gentle softening and opening through the body. We're relaxing through the chest. We're going to do a few more. Working on our spine health again. Working on relaxing our shoulders. We'll do one more. Lifting up and back. All right, it's up to you. You can just roll onto the other side. I'm going to change so that it's easier for everyone to see. And then in that change, I'm going to come to my back, draw the knees to the chest, and just roll up. A little bit easier. And then I'm going to turn to the other side. So again, we want to find length through our body first. So that means we're lining up with our mat, and we have our elbow under our shoulder. That's super, super important. Okay, you're gonna bend that bottom leg so it's at 90 degrees. You're gonna press into that top foot, okay? Now already feel yourself pressing out of this shoulder. Palms flat on the mat, and you're gonna lift, push out of that bottom leg and your top foot and your arm. Lift up. 2 more breaths here. Engage your core. This is what's gonna get you that lift. All right, ready? Release. That little bit goes a long way if we have the intention of keeping our core. So take 1 more breath, relaxing, and then we're gonna lift for 3 more. Are you ready? Let's go. Lift. Really push through. Try to lift out of your hips as much as possible, finding that reach through your fingers. All right, ready? Whoo, release. Relax down, and again, use that top arm to push, and we're gonna extend that bottom arm out long. We're gonna bend that top leg to meet. Relax your head down and reach your top arm out to meet the bottom one. We're gonna lift and open, roll onto the back of the head, open up through the chest, and then come back, rolling to the temple area and back. So moving at your own pace. Feel that opening through the shoulders. We'll do a few more. And back. And 1 more. All right, coming back, roll to your back, readjust so you're on your mat. Bring the knees in towards the chest. We're gonna do 1 more rolling up. So knees come in, roll up. Use that core. Yes. Awesome. Not easy by any means, okay? I want to do 1 more little push for our hips before we come and lie on our backs. It's a little bit harder to do it this way, but it gives us a little bit more. So how close your heels are to your hips is up to you. I want you to enjoy this pose. So maybe we relax on the inhales and we exhale and we press down and we sit up nice and tall. Or you can hold. So it's up to you with that position. Hands around the feet, taking a few breaths, lift and lengthen on the exhales or just statically hold, or lean forward and just drop the chin down slightly. Really take a few breaths here. Allow your knees to fall a little bit closer to the ground, really feeling your connection to your sit bones. Nice deep breaths here. We did a big push there. We want to just take a moment and just feel a softening through the hips. And then we'll release. Inhale, coming up. We'll draw those knees together. Turn. Extend the legs for 1 final forward fold. So moving the hips, or the meat of the thighs to find the sit bones. Hips, knees, and ankles in line. Push out and then inhale up. Exhale, fold. Now again, you can have those hands under the knees if you'd like, but focus on a nice flat back instead of rounding. Should already feel quite a difference in the legs and that lower back, allowing you to fold a little bit more. Two more breaths here. Maybe you push a little bit further for those last 2 breaths. And then we're going to come up. Roll the shoulders back, hands to the side so we can scoop forward. And slowly come down. Nice and slow. Keeping those knees up. Take a moment to lift the hips so that your lower back can come nice and flat on the mat. Relaxing every inch of your body. Feet are pressing into the ground. Hips, knees, and ankles in alignment, or feet out to the sides of your mat, knees into the center. Wherever you are, just feel your shoulders opening closer to the mat. Feel your ribs expand into the mat with each breath. And feel that gentle rise and fall of the belly. Few more breaths here. Really let yourself relax, releasing the space between the eyes. And then we'll gently open the eyes. Everyone will bring the hips, knees, and ankles in alignment, and we'll do a little bit more core work here. So remember, your goal is to keep your lower back on the mat. If that's ever difficult, you can take your palms underneath the hips to assist. We're going to press into our left foot and extend that right leg out long. Lift up and then lower down. Remembering we have multiple options. We can extend that left arm and bring the hand to the knee or the shin and lower back down. Or we can include a full crunch, right hand behind the head, reaching across the body and then lowering back down. And we're going to do a few more. Make sure to combine the exhale with that lifting of the leg. Moving at your own pace, but trying to move a little bit slower. Almost there. We're going to do 2 more. Ready? That last one. Really reach or lift as high as you can and then release. Lower back down. Bend that right knee. Take a moment. Realign your position. And then we're going to move right into the other side. So left leg extends. And again, you can just lift that leg up and then lower down. Or you can bring that right arm overhead and then just reach across to the ankle or shin. Or left hand behind the head, lifting up and bringing the arm across the leg. Nice deep breaths, exhaling as you come up. Really combining our body with the breath. So that movement with the exhale. We've got 3 more. Last 2. And then our final one. Really lift up, push as high as you can, and then release. Bring that knee up, bring both knees to the chest, giving yourself a little bit of a break here. Really take that second to relax. Maybe you circle or rock side to side. And then release. Okay, reversing blood flow and maybe hitting those lower abs. We're going to make sure our lower back is close on the mat by lifting the hips first. We're going to bring the arms down close to our body, right next to the sides, and we're going to press into the palms and shoulders so the hands are by the hips. Now our chin is lifted towards the sky, so our neck is in a nice neutral position. And we're going to start by bending the knees, bringing them to the chest, and then just point the toes and let the feet go towards the sky. Now you can stay here and just get a beautiful, nice reversing of blood flow, bringing all that energy to your heart. Something we should do every day. Or if you want that extra core work and we really want to tune into the lower abs, we'll bend our knees a little bit. And then we're going to think about lifting our hips up off the mat. So we're not going to do a big swing. We're going to do a little lift, lift, And just really think about lifting from the hips. Bring those toes a little bit closer to the sky. Really press into the palms will help and assist. This is really deep lower abs here. Really intense work. Or just holding for a few more breaths. Two more. Last one. And release. Bend the knees, bring them into the chest. Hug them in nice and tight. And then release. Stretch out the legs nice and long. Reach the arms overhead. Get a big stretch through those abs. We did so much today. Let's really reach and lengthen through the fingers. And then walk the legs across to the right side. Taking the right ankle over the left. Reaching the upper body towards the right with the right hand grabbing onto the left wrist. Essentially making a banana or a crescent moon with our bodies, finding length through the abs and the obliques, just feeling a nice stretch through the ribs. And then coming back to center, unwrapping the arms and the legs, and then going across to the other side. This time left ankle over right, left hand to right wrist. Big stretch through the body here. And then release. Come back to center. Bring those knees up one at a time. Lift the hips. Let that lower back hang down. Relax the upper body. Hands are in whatever position is comfortable. We're going to check hips, knees, and ankles in alignment. And then we're going to let our knees hang over to one side. And then we're going to come back to center and bring those knees across to the other side. So we're on the outside edge of one foot and the inside edge of the other. Warming up our hips and lower back here, getting a nice release. Remember to move at your own pace. Just enjoying that flow of movement. Let's do a couple more side to side. And then we'll come back on this last round to center. Realign, lift the hips, knees to chest, hug them in nice and tight. We'll let the feet hit the ground and we'll get those hips just a little bit more with our figure fours. So extending that right leg out, lift it up, and then right ankle to left knee. Press your right knee towards the front of the mat. And then if you'd like, you can take a strap or your hands and bring it behind your left knee. You can have that left shin parallel, relaxed, or straighten the leg overhead. Your goal is to bring your left knee towards your chest while still pressing that right knee towards the front of the mat. Taking a few breaths here. Relax the upper body. Focus in on the hips. And then bend that left leg if it's up high. Release the arms. Let the foot hit the ground. Right leg lifts, lengthens first, and then comes back up. Foot hits the ground, left leg extends, reaches, and then comes to the right knee. Think about pressing that left knee towards the front of your mat, and then hands or strap behind the right knee if you'd like. Shin parallel, relaxed, or straighten that leg, bring the heel towards the sky. Each variation offers something a little bit different. Focus in on your hips, having them nice and level on the mat. And a nice, relaxed feeling through the upper body. Few more breaths here, enjoying that opening through the hips. And then if that right leg is bent or straightened, we'll bend it and then we'll release the arms. Let the foot hit the ground. Left leg goes up long and then down to the earth. Right leg goes out to meet it. We'll take a stretch through the front of our bodies first. Reaching arms overhead from the fingers to the toes and then relax. We'll take those feet about hips distance apart, maybe shoulder width or a little bit more. You're welcome to come into the final resting pose or join me in one final push. We're going to take our arms away from our body, so space between the arms and the side, and make gentle fists. Press the middle and ring finger into the center of your palms. We're going to activate what we consider the fire and water energies of our body. Pushing out with the heels, we curl back our toes while we press into the palms. And then we lift the head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground a couple of inches. And then the arms and legs, balancing on that middle and lower back. This is called balancing yin and yang. This is a big push for our bodies. We're tightening every muscle so that in 2 more breaths, we can take a big inhale and then sigh of an exhale and release. Open your palms to the sky. Let your feet dangle to the side. Lift your chin slightly and relax every inch of your body. We tightened every muscle so that now we can relax everything. We can relax the space between the eyes. And we're just going to take a few breaths here. Remember that this pose, this resting pose, is just as important as everything else we did in class. We need to give our bodies a moment to rest and reabsorb that energy. Allow our spine to find its neutral position. And give ourselves that time, acknowledging all of the hard work that you put in today. It's natural for your mind to wander. Try to enjoy the space between thoughts, or maybe you place the hands on the belly, or one on the heart and one on the belly. And you tune into the body and how it feels as your breath returns to its natural rhythm, enjoying that rise and fall of the abdomen. We'll take just a few more breaths here. Really relax through the upper body. Let your limbs feel a little bit heavier into the earth. We always start to awaken our bodies by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Then we roll the wrists and the ankles. And we reach the arms overhead and we bring the feet together so we stretch from the fingers to the toes. And then we relax the upper body, lift one knee and then the other so that we can lift our hips and move them to one side and roll to the other, moving nice and slow. Pausing for a breath or two, and just taking that second before we just slowly push back up into a seated position. Give yourselves that moment, finding a comfortable position. We can sit up nice and tall and hold. We could roll the shoulders if that feels good, or we can circle, lifting the chest on an inhale, leaning forward, and rounding on an exhale, going back. We'll take 2 more breaths circling the other direction, if that's what you're choosing to do. Nice big rounding of the back on that last exhale, and then back to center. Let that smile come back to carry you throughout your day, and then reach those arms up high. And then exhale, hands down to the heart. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I hope you're feeling great, and I hope to see you again soon.